What's good? I wasn't gonna even do no lit today because it's my birthday. It's Valentine's Day. I was gonna take a day off, but Smith don't sleep, so that means I don't sleep. Keep dropping jewels, infinite jewels. I'm gonna give y'all a very big jewel today, only because today was a big day for me, and this jewel means a lot to me because you really don't realize how much you changed and how much you resurrected until you understand the deeper meaning of this jewel. This jewel is called the Mason avatar. Mason. Now, a lot of times when you hear the word Mason, you may think of the Masons, like the 33rd degree Masons, you know, and the Scottish Rite Masons and the battery's running low. The other, you know, the Mason. When you typically hear the word Mason, you think of the Masons, but we ain't talking about the Masons. We talking about the avatar Mason, meaning that the agenda of the end result, basically, to make a long story short, the end result of the nigga who watching all of this shit that the media is putting through the TV, the mainstream media, who's ruled by Masons, but they creating hybrid versions of Masons and niggas, lower self, cartoon acting ass, fuckboy ass niggas. Like, Mason don't have no knowledge of self. Mason be watching TV and thinking that shit on TV is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mason, he copy everything that come through the TV. If they say they got to get the new Jordans, they come out, he got to get the Jordan. You know what I'm saying? This new kind of car come out, he got to get the new car. This new video come out, he got to get the new video game. You know, he ain't got no knowledge of self. He get whatever they tell him to get. Whatever come through the TV, that's what he got to get it. So he depend on the mainstream and other niggas to tell him what's popping. You know what I'm saying? In order, he got to keep the shit going. The bullshit, the mainstream shit, the music, all the bullshit fuckery music, going out to the club and spending all the money and eating up all the food and going to sleep and waking up in the morning and doing it all over again. You know what I'm saying? Watching TV, selling dope. You know what I'm saying? Playing video games, waking up, you know, eating, go back to sleep, go out, go party. You know, he ain't got no knowledge of himself. And that's as far as his life going. He sometimes, a lot of times, Mason, subconsciously, Mason be like, man, there's got to be more to life than this. But a lot of times he won't actually verbalize it due to the I ain't said shit lit. You might want to look that up on who that's kind of I ain't said shit lit. But a lot of times Mason know that, you know, the shit he doing is bullshit, but he justified, you know what I'm saying, by saying, you know, well, I ain't got shit else, you know, if I ain't got shit else to do, I may as well grind. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody hiring, ain't nobody getting no jobs. You know, so he the last thing he gonna try is God. The last thing Mason gonna look to is God. It's similar if you watch the movie Malcolm X. First he started out Detroit Red. Before he fell into the knowledge of self, he was Detroit Red. That's basically Mason. If you watch Hancock, the movie Hancock, when Hancock, before he put himself in jail and went and got knowledge of self, he was drinking a lot, and he didn't know how to use his powers the right way. It's the same concept as Mason. If you watch The Lion King, when Mufasa was in the jungle, he was eating bugs and shit. He ain't had no knowledge of himself. He forgot he was even a king. You know, he was singing Hakuna Matata, no worries. I ain't worried about shit. I ain't got no worries. I ain't got no worries. That's where all that shit comes from. That Mason shit that they got to keep going through the airwaves. You know, he ain't got no knowledge of himself, so he was in the jungle eating bugs. So one day he looked in the water and seen his father, and his father reminded him that he was a king, and he started to wake up and get knowledge of self. If you watch The Matrix, same concept with Neo. Neo didn't know who he was. He knew there was something more than what he was seeing and what he could sense with his five senses, but he never could actually verbalize it. He could never actually prove that what he was seeing was real until Morpheus came along and basically gave him knowledge of self, and he told him what the Matrix was, and he woke up. And as Mason starts to wake up, he goes through a process called resurrection of self, which leads to that Heru avatar, which is the complete opposite of Mason, which is the hero, the one who rises from the ashes, who starts the story, the true story of the knowledge of self. That's Heru, which is the opposite of Mason. Mason is sleep. He considered dead in spirit, dead in mind. You know, he eating the wrong foods. He listening to the wrong music. He don't have no spiritual sense as far as either religion or science. You know, the music that he listening to is only putting him into a darker state. The movies he's watching is only putting him into a darker state. His woman keeps him locked into a material world. That's what we call Jezebel. She keeps him locked into the physical, material world. So he got to keep getting money in order to keep spending it. And you know, and that's what Mason's life on: get money and spending it, get money and spending it. So he got to keep the American ego. He got to keep it going. Like the new movie come out, he got to go see it. You know what I'm saying? He got to take his kids to go see the movie. He got to take his girl to go see the new movie. The new music come, the new song come out, he got to get it. He got to play it. He got to keep the shit going. You know what I'm saying? But he never really gets knowledge of self. Even though it'll be shit right in front of him. That's what they call hidden in plain sight. Like it'll be certain signs that God will try to come out and show through what you call synchronicity. Synchronicity mean like, you know, for example, what I'm saying right now, as soon as you cut this off, you go cut on the TV, and then the Lion King will be on, or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Or the Matrix will be on. You know, or you'll hear somebody in a couple hours saying something very similar to what you're hearing in this video. Or, you know, other events that be going on through your day, and then you see it again, you know, at a certain timing, the way the timing works. That's all synchronicity. So, like, God will show Mason synchronicity, and he'll be like, man, this is weird, it's deja vu, I think I've seen this before. God will give Mason signs, but Mason will never pick up on this, you know, he will never actually pick up on it and learn from the signs. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what Mason do. Mason stay asleep. And if you go back and watch Malcolm X, go back and watch Hancock, go back and watch The Lion King, go back and watch The Matrix, you go back and watch other movies like that's my phone. Other movies like They Live, that's a classic, where he woke up. Any kind of movie that deals with resurrection, you know, somebody being dead, not even physically dead, but just dead mentally, and then waking up and going through a awakening. The movie Wanted, that was a real good movie. He was dead, he didn't know himself, and he found out his father was a great assassin. He woke up, and he went through the process of resurrection himself. Now, usually, in order for Mason to really start understanding these concepts, somebody's got to die before, you know, he got to go to a funeral. Something really tragic has to happen. That's why God give Mason pain. God give Mason nightmares in order to constantly try to wake him up and go in the opposite direction. But Mason always justify why he doing what he doing. So Mason constantly going through pain. Mason constantly going through what we call Smith shit, accidents, car accidents, losing money, losing weed, dropping shit, you know, losing his keys, getting locked up, getting arguments with his girl, you know what I'm saying, domestics, getting caught with weed, you know, constantly getting pulled over, license be suspended for months, child support, all of this shit. But he still got all the latest movies. He still got all the latest bootlegs. He still got all the latest CDs. You know, he's still smoking every day. He's still drinking every day. But, you know, he got nightmares. But he'll never tell you about these nightmares. Mason don't want to wake up. He constantly just justifying. You know, it's other shit Mason be going through. You know, just he be having 2-3 girls pregnant and shit. And they all be chaos, be arguing back and forth with each other. He can't get no sleep. Phone getting cut off. You know, right when he go try to make some money, some shit come up and throw the whole operation off. And he can't ever explain why this shit keep happening. This is all Mason's life story. So he don't understand the reason all this shit happened is because he has no knowledge of self. If you go back and watch Malcolm X, it was the same shit. He was getting locked up. He was constant. Every time he tried to make money, some shit wrong. You know, all of these movies will show you these signs in these movies, but that's called hidden in plain sight. If you don't know what they're trying to show you and you don't understand that they're talking about you and how this applies to your life, Mason, then you won't understand the deeper thoughts, the deeper symbolism of the synchronicity that God be showing you, and you kind of pick up on, but you just brush it off because you think it's something just crazy or it's deja vu, or you just be like, oh man, it's crazy, some crazy shit. That's not crazy shit. That's God trying to talk to you. But you so asleep and stuck in your ways. Your pineal gland, your third eye is so calcified. Your third eye is so shut, so closed, so calcified from watching so much TV and eating the wrong foods and listening to the wrong music. Your pineal gland, your third eye right here is so shut that you'll get a headache. Mason will get a headache as soon as he start hearing like real good spiritual information, cleansing information that starts to wake him up. Like the turbulence that'll be in his pineal gland will start shaking and actually give him a headache. He'll fall asleep dead in the middle of the conversation talking about spirituality because they didn't close your pineal gland so tight shut that any attempt to try to open it, he'll physically fall asleep. He can't even physically sit there and listen to information like this. He'll fall asleep. His eyes will start getting low. So That's why when you see like my glasses, you Hood X, you see me with the 50, you see me with the hoodie, it kind of gives you that Mason type of feeling. But the information is not what you expecting from a nigga sitting here with braids and a fucking hat and some sunglasses and a hoodie. You wouldn't be expecting me to say no shit like this. So that's the only reason that Mason would even sit here and listen to this information is because of the avatar that I'm presenting myself as is K-Blao. That's the only way that Mason could even relate to this information, because 9 times out of 10, Mason be done fell asleep. So that's because of the calcification of the pineal gland. Now, you should research everything that I'm saying on here, because everything I'm saying on here is 100% true. I'm not making none of this shit up. And if you got any questions or if you want to know anything else about Mason, just go to hoodx.com and type in the Mason avatar and look it up. Now, you got to understand, I wrote a whole book about Mason. It's called The Heru Special. If you go to hoodx.com and read it, it's type HERU Special. Chapter 1 is 10 chapters. It's broken up, like chapter 1 through 5, and I think chapter 6 is by itself. Then I think it's got chapter 7 through 9, and then chapter 10 is by itself. It's an excellent story. It's a very short story. It's not long at all. Probably take you less than a day to read. Probably take you 2-3 hours to read the whole thing. But it's a lot of symbolism in there that will explain to you a lot more deeper meanings behind what I'm saying. And I really encourage you to read. It's very easy to read. I know niggas don't like to read. I know this. That's why I wrote it very short, but it's funny. It's a lot of meaning, a lot of messages in it, and I really encourage you to read it if you want to get a more deeper understanding about what I'm saying in this information. So stay tuned to hoodx.com. Shout out to my boy Poe. You can hit him up at Lightspeed123 on Twitter. Hit up my man Willie Lump Silos. Hit up my assistant Desiree Davis if you're trying to get paid sharing this information. As always, stay tuned to HoodX. It's your boy K-Blao. We got more jewels coming. Happy Valentine's Day. It's my birthday. I appreciate all the birthday shout outs on my page. Stay tuned.